Doug O'Neill, the great trainer for All Have Another that won 2 of the 3 legs of the Triple Crown. He joins us on short notice. Doug, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me.
All right. American Pharoah, not named Sportsman of the Year. Should a horse be eligible for Sportsman of the Year?
Well, it's a credit to the connections, and to think that horse racing has come back to the point where we're talking about this is amazing. So it's hard to think. I think Secretariat was Sportsman of the Year back in the early 70s, but I guess it means a lot of people who go to the racetrack read Sports Illustrated and do a lot of voting, have a lot of time on their hands to vote.
Would you have American Pharoah Sportsman of the Year?
I would have put him in the running because, it was a 37-year drought of the Triple Crown for horse racing. For him to do what he did and then ended on a bang in the Breeders' Cup Classic was incredible. But I probably would have voted for Steph Curry. He looks like you and I, and to see what he does night in and night out is truly amazing. So that probably would have been my vote.
What if you put the trainer, jockey, and horse in there for Sportsmen of the Year as a team?
Sure. I like that. If I was the trainer, I would like that a lot.
But who's more important, trainer or the jockey?
It's of those two. I think it's because the horse is the most important. Being a trainer, I'd have to say the trainer.
Of course you.
Is more, yes. Those guys are a little bit on the small side, and they wear the small helmets because they got the small heads, and so I think the trainers we're fatter and maybe smarter.
Does the horse know who's on its back?
I definitely think they do. Yeah, there's connections where a guy like Victor Espinoza is truly one with the horse, and you'll get guys who aren't as successful who are more. Were you on a horse in that ridiculous 6, Dan?
No, I was not. No,
you were not.
I was
okay.
I was just Abe Lincoln.
That's right. You're a great Abe Lincoln. But you could definitely see the guys who are more fearful on top of a horse and the guys who are more one with a horse, and so it's important to have a top jock on the back of a good horse.
Does the horse know it's in a race?
Some do. You change their diet the night before, in the morning of. You're feeding them less, so they've got less on their stomach. And as horses start seeing the smaller dinner and the smaller breakfast, some thrive on it, and some of them are like, "Oh Jesus, I got to go over there." So I think it's like human sports. You get the athletes who are nervous and shaky in the locker room, and the ones that are, coming out busting through the paper banner and can't wait to compete.
All right, American Pharoah wins the Triple Crown. Will history look at American Pharoah as a great horse? Was this a great year for horse racing, thoroughbred racing?
Yeah, it really is, because we desperately needed a horse like American Pharoah, because the tracks are still a wonderful place to go, but as people now are watching and wagering on their phones and their tablets and their computers, it's become only a select few days out of the year where there's a lot of people there. And I think American Pharoah, people are coming out just even to watch him gallop and to work, and he really brought a lot of people back to the track, and I think created a lot of new fans, which is great. So he's turned a great business. He's put it back on the front page, which we desperately needed. So though he didn't win, he was deserving to be, in the running.
American Pharoah versus Usain Bolt in the 100 meters.
Wow. Now, does Usain Bolt have blinkers on?
That's not going to matter for him.
That's true. He's pretty focused.
I'm worried about American Pharoah looking over and seeing Usain Bolt going, "Oh, no, I'm in trouble."
Wow, that would be fun. I remember that happened one time, and I think the horse won. And I think in this scenario, American Pharoah, not only has he had a tremendous amount of stamina, but he's got a lot of speed. So my money would be on American Pharoah.
But if I had like a track surface for Usain Bolt and I had dirt for American Pharoah, I might go Usain Bolt in 100 meters.
Yeah, no, you could definitely make some tweaks to give it to him. He's a fast son of a gun. So, But that'd be fun to watch. I would show up if they did something like that.
All right, well, stay out of trouble. Good to talk to you again, Doug.
You too. Take care, you guys.
All right, Doug O'Neill, trainer for All Have Another, won 2 of the 3 legs of the Triple Crown.